This derelict pub has been taken over by squatters, and the locals are said to be up in arms at their behaviour.
Guys, do you live here? Do you stay here? No.
My friend living here.
Oh, do they? Are they in there now? They're just having a sleep?
Yeah, he's sleeping.
Yeah.
No, teacher. No, come. No, teacher, Mr. Tell.
Hi.
Yeah, it's
I'm Richard. What's your name?
It's my friend.
Does he speak English?
No.
Does he speak English?
Leonid. He's looking from job, everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's business. Yeah, business.
Where's he from?
Lithuania.
Oh, Lithuania?
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing you're fighting me. What? Look.
Interesting that the squatter himself is like the strong silent type, you know. He's not willing to...
Is he slightly inebriated?
I think he might have had a couple of fruit juices this morning.
The squat is located 200 yards behind Walthamstow's busy high street. Surrounding the squat are several local businesses. Nigel Jenkins owns the garage opposite.
Well, 9 o'clock in the morning, they're drunk out their skulls. You tend to find you get a group within this area or just across the road there.
What, they've been drinking all night?
Just drinking all night long.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning, we come in, they've used the driveway, there's toilets.
What, you mean they defecate on the drive?
They do, yes.
Jeez, how do you deal with that? What do you do?
We just get the boys to clean it up and...
What, hose pipe? Jet wash it?
Jet wash it, yeah. It's turned out to be an advantage for us.
Why?
Well, what we do is
How does that possibly work?
The last one into work has to clean the mess. So they're getting earlier and earlier. So yeah, we're getting more time out of workers.
So you're first in, aren't you?
I'm first in.
Nigel told me he'd been living with this daily nightmare for an astonishing 5 years. But it was unclear whether the present occupants were directly responsible for the mess.
1 year ago, they found half a pig in there.
Half a pig?
Half a pig. Where they got the pig from, we don't know.
Uncooked?
Uncooked, but they was eating it still.
What?
The pig had maggots coming out of the pig.
That sounds almost like a myth.
Have a look inside.
Do you think we should? Do you think we could?
Yeah, take a look inside.
Would you be happy to?
Yeah, of course.
All right, well, let's have a look.
Although this former pub recently sold at auction for £310,000 to an anonymous buyer, the problems remain unresolved, forcing the locals to live with the consequences.
Do you think it's safe to go in? We're going to be all right?
I'm happy to go in there, but...
Well, I'm totally comfortable myself, so... I'm just getting this broken glass.
Take a look inside for yourself. It's...
Ooh, right. Gee.
There's a chap he's asleep.
There's a chap under a blanket over there, yeah, poor guy. This is worse than I even expected. See the rat running across there? Looking at us? Gone in? I'm told that there, see him running across the floor? They're big, aren't they?
Yeah, huge.
They're huge rats. Yeah. Are we okay doing this? I mean, it is their space, as it were. I feel a little bit...
I think if it's made public, maybe it's going to help these people.
There's a very strong smell of fire, isn't there? And urine and fire.
Yeah.
And I have to say it, feces, you know.
Yeah. Everyone sees them as an inconvenience, but nobody sees the amount of trouble these people are in.
I must say you have a remarkable sense of sympathy, given that you have to put up with the rubbish that is generated from this place, the human waste, the behaviour, the fights, the drinking, and yet you can stand in here and see them as human beings. I don't think I've ever been in a place as degraded as this. It's the very pits of degradation, isn't it? Hello. Morning. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Do you speak English? Do you speak English? We're leaving now. I think that was a time to make an exit.
He was only going to upset him.
It was going to upset him. He didn't look at all happy that we were in there, and I can sympathise with that. It's his space, you know.
We've tried border control, Home Office, police.
Right.
We've got nowhere whatsoever, so we've given up now.
The police have been powerless to help, as there's no actual proof the squatters broke into the building, and therefore no criminal offence had been committed.
What are you going to do with them? Unless you can house them, there's nothing to do with them.
Now I'd woken the squatter up, I wasn't sure how he'd react.
Hello. How are you doing?
All right.
Good. You speak some English?
No.
No, you don't speak English? A little
No
English?
speak.
What's your name?
My name?
Yeah, I'm Richard.
Richard.
And what are you?
What you from?
Where am I from?
No.
Well, I'm from England. I'm English.
That's what you're doing here.
We're doing a story about people like you that live in buildings.
This man know me.
Yeah.
No have problem to me.
No.
No.
Yeah. No.
No,
What you
so
want?
there are no problems.
What you want?
How long have you been in there for?
Well, ask him. No, you ask.
You ask him. He wants you to be the reporter. That's fine.
No. Understand?
No?
I don't know.
Thank you very much. We're done here. Thank you.
Don't
No, okay.
give to you.
Okay.
For this man, I give.
Okay.
You can.
Okay.
Understand you?
Okay. Cool. I don't know how you solve those guys. You know, when the owner of this property eventually gets planning permission to do whatever the heck he wants to do here, build another garage or something, and they do knock that down, these guys aren't going to just sort of evaporate into thin air. They're going to go somewhere else and live in exactly the same conditions. I mean, they are absolutely stuck with it. It's a blow struck, isn't it?
I think that if you're going to leave a property empty, then we've got a responsibility to come in and use it. And I feel happy that I'm taking something that's been laid waste and turning it into a home for up to 20 people who wouldn't have anywhere else to go otherwise. How do you take
As Catherine shows me around, I meet two other squatters. Richard, a fashion photographer, and Pete, a performance poet. They say they squat because they can't afford London rents. But it's not just their housing they get for free.
All of this you find in a shop skip or a supermarket skip?
Yeah, they throw it away every single night.
Does anyone ever try and stop you from taking it?
I don't think they have any protocols for dealing with it, to be honest.
All right, so what have you got here? Potatoes, bananas?
A lemon.
Yeah,
I'll
a
be
lemon.
Probably stealing that later. Sweet potatoes,
Yeah.
of course.
Is this
Onions,
what's in this?
Actimel, apples, donuts.
And do you get quality stuff? Like, do you get quality cuts of meat? You know?
Yeah.
I
Shoulders
skipped
allowed.
Lindor chocolates last night.
Lindor chocolates?
Yeah.
You middle-class squatter.
Look at our asparagus.
Yeah, look.
Oh, Portwood. Very, very grand. What's your supermarket skip of choice, then? I mean, I personally quite like shopping at Waitrose. Waitrose, OK. So at last we have something absolutely in common. I shop at Waitrose, you skip from the back of Waitrose.
I tracked down Dave Durant, who owns a property in South Bristol, which is currently being squatted by some people from BAM. It was the second time he'd had squatters here, and Dave's become, well, exasperated.
The police make it pretty clear that once somebody else is in the property, you've somehow forfeited your rights.
Yeah.
You know, to get in.
Hello, excuse me. Hi, are you squatting here?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, OK. Did I see you the other night?
You did.
Yeah, OK. This, you know that this is the owner.
I do.
This is
indeed,
Dave. Yeah.
Right, Dave. We're looking after your building, Dave. We haven't made any damage to it whatsoever.
Obviously, Dave wants you to get out, and he's
Yeah,
taking...
that's fair enough because it's his building, but we're occupying your building. We're looking after your building. We're not gonna scrap your building. We're not gonna make any damage to your building whatsoever.
No. Right.
How does that make
And
you
that's a
feel?
promise. Like,
Well, it's just ludicrous. It's fine. I mean, I think there are degrees of damage that can be done. I mean, the amount of damage that was done last time we had squatters was phenomenal.
but that's last time. They were different people. We are different squatters. I've been squatting for 2 years myself.
Yeah.
We're not gonna make any damage to the building.
You don't know who else might come into the squat at some point. You can see his point, can't
Yeah,
you?
we do, because we've had people coming in saying, oh, can we live here? And I've been, no, you cannot live here because I don't know who you are. Because you might wreck
But
the
I don't know who
building.
you are.
I know that's true, but I don't know who you are. You know, I
He's-
know
he's
it's
the
your
owner.
building.
I'm the owner.
You are, well, yeah, you're the owner of the building. I'm a squatter that's been squatting for 2 years. I haven't wrecked any buildings. I've never scrapped a building in my life.
No, but
I've never-
actually...
I've never made damage to a building in my
But
life.
actually, my
I can understand
feeling
completely,
about
yeah.
squatters is not based on what you're saying, but is based on my experience over the last 12 months.
Dave, do you have any sympathy for his position? That he's homeless and he's got no alternative. Right, look.
Fucking getting wet, bruv. Come on.
Go on, go on.
Your friend's got less patience than you.
I'll see you later.
To be perfectly honest, these guys are in a situation, they've probably got nowhere to live, probably got no money, and the way the law's constructed, it provides them with some sort of rights to occupy my building. That's the main thing.
By chance, Tristan, the urban womble I'd met the other night, was coming out of Dave's property.
Have you guys met before?
Yeah,
yes,
briefly.
through the window.
But there's one question in particular that Dave really wants answering.
How did you get in?
I'm obviously not going to tell you. I'm telling you. I'll tell you like I told the camera crew. The door was open and we walked in.
Yeah.
Well, if,
But that's not strictly true.
Well, nothing can be proved otherwise.
But I know that the place was locked. You know that the place was locked.
You don't know.
well, he left
Which
it
is why
locked.
it wouldn't stand in court if you tried to say
We're not
otherwise.
talking about whether it's standing court. We're standing here in front of each other talking about the situation. And I know that you must have broken into my house, into my property.
And your answer to that is,
And your answer is
I'm not
prove
going to tell you, which
which
does sound like an admission of guilt by omission,
No,
doesn't it?
it's not what I said. I said the door was open, and you can't prove otherwise, so therefore you're going to have to believe me. Out of interest, how many properties do you own?
That's got nothing to do with it.
Well, it has, really.
No, it hasn't.
Like,
it's got absolutely
I'm sure
nothing to do
you've got
with
far
this
more
property.
money than any of us have. In
It's
fact,
nothing
we
to do
have
with money.
nothing. Well, it is.
No, it's
It is.
not.
It's to do with you're wealthy, we're not. And you've got several properties, so it's not like you're really suffering. You might be suffering financially, but it's not like you're not going to be able to buy a BMW next year still after this, are you?
Do you want to carry on with it? Is there any point?
I think
You're not getting to the point of what it's about. I mean, it's just.
Well, I am getting to the point of what it's about.
No,
You're talking about how you're suffering financially. We're
I'm
talking
not talking
about how
about
we
that. I'm
might
not
be
talking
sleeping
about-
on the streets or
I'm not
starving.
talking- I'm not
that seems
talking-
more important than your plans to redevelop this building. We're not taking it. It's not become ours. We're just borrowing it. And providing we don't cause any damage, I fail to see any morality issues.
it's quite a lot, isn't it, to ask him to trust people that he's never met when they say we won't damage the property.
Oh yeah, of course, and it doesn't happen every time. Countless buildings, I'm sure, have been destroyed by squatters. But at the end of the day, damage is not, in my view, and this is quite an extreme view to some people, damage is damage. But if people are suffering, they should be allowed to sleep under a roof, especially if it's laid dormant like this one.
He's taken a moral view that I've got money, so I've got no rights to anything. You know, he can take what he wants. I disagree with that.
Could you explain? Could you explain that view? Because I
Yes, I see it. I see it as greed. When there's 5 of us wandering around on the streets, hungry, needing somewhere to live, when he has multiple properties, I see that as greed.
I've asked you if you've got any hello, hi. I've asked you if you've got any sympathy at all for his position, and you just call him greedy. It just seems very one-sided.
Well, okay, without sounding even more ruthless, until you've been in our positions and suffered like we are, I don't think you're going to find it hard to have a balanced view, especially as when you've got such a large bank account, I'm sure you all have, compared to ours, which is 0 pence. No, I've got 10p, which I found on the floor. And this is true suffering. And I don't know when the last time any of you lot have really suffered, when you haven't had any food to eat, you haven't had somewhere to sleep.
But why are we greedy? That's a real insult. I'm not greedy at all.
Can I mind if I just
Why are you
wander
on
over there and
the
get a fan?
So
Yeah, you're gonna have a
personal
fact.
politics.
Do you want to roll up?
Yeah.
There you
Thank
go.
very much. Well,
Very giving of you. Very ungreedy there.
Yeah, it's very ungreedy.
Sorry, it's a loose Rizzler.
This is a bit surreal, isn't it? Sort of swapping tobacco. It's not something I guess you expected to.
very ancient, right.
It's definitely a first experience with me with a landlord.
Well, you said you're not interested in going back inside now. You've seen enough. But even if you did, you wouldn't let him into the house, would you? You said you wouldn't let him in.
No, that just...
Why not? It's his. No, justify that. Why would you not let him in? He's not going to beat anyone up or sort
Well,
of cause any trouble.
I have no guarantee what he's going to do once he gets inside. It's just
Well, hang on,
just basic rules squatting. You don't let the police in,
can I
you
just
don't let
say-
the landlord in.
You won't let him into his own
I
property.
tell you what, I'd let him into a home if he lost all his other properties and he had nowhere to sleep but the streets, then he's welcome.
This is the most surreal conversation I've ever observed.
No, we won't-
Absolutely strange. Is there any way I could possibly suggest you shake hands and sort of with each
Yeah,
other?
he's a human being if he wants to shake my hand. I respect people for being human beings, what they do.
Like many thousands today, Tristan and his friends are homeless, and I feel sorry for them. But it can't be right to occupy Dave's property and refuse to let him in.